Today we will discuss about Snowflake introduction part. Introduction part in the sense like what is exactly Snowflake, how internally it works, okay, what is the architecture of Snowflake, how to open the free trial account, okay, and other important things. From end of the session today, once the session is over, I'll be giving you three important questions from today's topic only, and those questions 90% chances are there people will be asking in interview panel, or you will be getting these questions in the certification exam. Okay, so I'll give you three important questions end of the session. Okay, so we will be discussing all those things here, and after that, we will be end of the session. We'll be opening the free trial account also with Snowflake, and we'll see how to open that and how basically you people also will be opening the free account, and will start the journey of Snowflake. So that we will be discussing. Okay, let's start with the Snowflake topics. So as I told, we will be discussing today about the Snowflake introduction. We will be discussing 3-4 important questions end of the session, okay, which will be basically important for the certification as well as your interview. So let's start. So first of all, first question is, what is Snowflake? So what is Snowflake? Okay, so what is Snowflake? So simple thing, Snowflake is a data warehouse. Snowflake is data warehouse. Okay, it is not an ETL tool. It is not a kind of like your reporting tool, nothing. So what is data warehouse? Data warehouse is the single repository of the data. Okay, now, so for an example, why we need the data warehouse? So first we need to understand why we need the data warehouse. So simple thing, the data warehouse will be needing to understand or to analyze the data further. For an example, let's say what exactly happens in your in our daily life. Like we purchase some item from the online system, right? For an example, let's say we purchase the item from the Amazon. You purchase the item from any type of online portal. Okay, let's say for an example, you have purchased some flight ticket from the online system. Let's say you have purchased some flight tickets. Okay, you have purchased some flight tickets, okay, from the online portal. Whenever you purchase some flight ticket online portal, let's say you have purchased some flight ticket from the online portal. Whenever you are purchasing some flight ticket from the online portal, you provide some details to that portal, right? Let's say you have purchased the ticket from the make my trip. You purchase the ticket from the, let's say sky scanner, wherever it is. So whenever you are purchasing some ticket from the online portal, what exactly we do is like nothing but like we provide our details over there, right? Let's say we provide our name, we provide our details over there, right? Now whenever we provide these details to the online portal, what they do is like they stores those details, right? So that means with the online portal we have a database connected, which will be having, or which will be including your data, like, or your online data, like whatever data we are providing, your customer ID, for an example, like your seat number, which seat you have booked, let's say which date you want to journey, when you want to journey. So all those details will be going into the database. This type of database we call as a OLTP database, online transactional processing. This type of database we called as an OLTP database, right? Now, once we get this data into this database, these database are basically online transactional processing. This data base basically, so whenever we purchase any online system, so basically that goes into the OLTP databases. Okay, this is the online transactional processing. Now, this type of database contains the current data. Okay, this is the current data. Why it is current data? Let's say you have purchased any item, that immediately against that customer ID, that item will be booked for you. Now, after that, let's say you have canceled the ticket. Now, immediately that will be updated to the database. Let's say you have changed your seat, that also will be updated immediately. Let's say you have rescheduled your journey date, that also will be updated immediately, right? So that is the reason this is what we called as a current data container. So OLTP databases always will contain the current data, right? Similarly, this is constantly updated. Why constantly updated? As I told you, whenever I will be doing anything from the front end, that will be immediately updated to the database, to the OLTP database. So that's the reason we call it as a constantly updated. Highly detailed data we will be containing day-to-day operations data, every day's operational data we contain into the OLTP databases. Similarly, normalized data. This type of data contains the normalized form of data. That means these data will be completely normalized data. That is one thing. Second thing, once we get the data from the data into the OLTP database, these data further move to the OLAP. Not only this data, any type of data which basically different organizations are tracking for the day-to-day activities, those data once will periodically, maybe in the month end, maybe in the weekly, maybe in the daily format, they will be sending the data to the database, to the data warehouse. And that is what we call OLTP system, OLAP system. That is called an online analytical processing. Okay, this is what we call OLAP systems. Okay. Here, generally, we contain the historical data, okay, less frequently updated data. Okay, so this is the history. Why we call it as a historical data? Because I'm giving you a simple example. Let's say Indigo people has decided like, okay, whoever has traveled more than 3 times through our flight, okay, whoever has traveled more than 3 times through our flight, they will be getting in last 1 month. Let's say they have decided that okay, the passenger or the customer has traveled more than 3 times through our flight in last 1 month. More than 3 times they will be doing up and down. That means one, that is not one way, it will be return 3 times return, one way, two-way flight who have purchased and they have completed the transaction or they have completed the travel, they will be getting a 50% bonus voucher. Okay. Now, if the company has taken this decision, now the decision should be implemented. How it will be implementing? Because we need to analyze the data, whoever has traveled more than 3 times in last 1 month. So what exactly does now, for an example, let's say Indigo flight ticket is being booked by multiple service providers, right? Maybe you are booking something from skyscanner.net. Maybe I am booking from Make My Trip. Maybe somebody else is booking the ticket from the let's say any other web portal. Okay. Now from all these web portal, these data should be accumulated or should be gathered into the a single repository where exactly we can make the analysis. Because until and unless if we have the proper and entire data in our hand and entire completed data in our hand, we cannot make the analysis or we cannot make that decision on it, right? So once we get all the data into a single system, then on top of that we can analysis and we generate the reports, right? So that is how it works, right? So that is the reason this OLAP is the system, or basically data warehouse is the system where generally we handle the historical data, less frequently updated. This data doesn't frequently updates. Okay, it will be a summarized data, as I told you. Like whenever we load the data into the data warehouse, it should be a summarized form of data. Why summarized form of data? Because generally, for an example, let's say you got the sales data or flight related sales data in the data warehouse. Now customer does not want to see the data which is the raw data they are receiving. They want to see the data which is exactly format they wants to see. Maybe they want to see the data in the date wise. Maybe they want to see the data as a month wise sales report or revenue report. Maybe they want to see the region wise sales report. So that is the reason we call it as a summarized data. And the data which we will be preparing in the data warehouse, that will be further accepted by the reporting tool, and they will be generating the report based on that data. And that's the reason this is what we call report or dashboard for decision making. And this data is denormalized data. We don't have any normalization maintained in the data warehouse. So generally it is a denormalized form. So any data in any table it can load. Okay, and after that we prepare the summarized different dimensions data. As I told you, different dimensions data in the sense, like for an example, you got the data into a sales table, and that sales table we have the entire sales data imported. Now let's say customer wants to see the sales data month wise. That means January month, how much revenue they have generated, February month, how much revenue they have generated, March month, how much revenue they. This is one dimension of report. Let's say customer, again after some time, customer wants to see the data as a region wise. Let's say in a country, north region, how much sales they have generated, from the south region, how much sales they have generated, from the east region, how much sales they have generated, from the, this is the another dimensions data. Let's say they wants to know about the country wise, how much sales they have generated in India, how much sales they have generated in US, how much sales they have generated in UK. So like that, different dimensions data we prepare in the data warehouse. Okay, so that is the reason we call this as a online analytical processing. We basically use the data warehouse or Snowflake basically to use as a for the data analysis purpose. Okay, and that's the reason we call it as a summarized data, and we import the denormalized form of data here. Okay, so that is what the data warehouse concept. Now it is not only the data warehouse, it's a cloud data warehouse. Snowflake is cloud data warehouse. Okay, so it's a cloud data warehouse. Why it is a cloud data warehouse? Because whenever we will be opening a Snowflake account, or whenever we will be creating a free trial account, I'll show you. Basically, whenever we open a Snowflake account, the Snowflake account will be deployed, or Snowflake account will be deployed on the cloud. So here three cloud providers are supported. One is AWS, one is Azure, and another one is GCP. Okay, this is the three cloud providers are supported. Okay, so Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Why we call it as a cloud data warehouse? Because Snowflake basically deployed whenever we open a Snowflake account, that Snowflake account gets deployed in the any one of these three cloud. Okay, you can deploy on the AWS, you can deploy on the Azure, or you can deploy on the GCP. So that means any one of these three cloud you can utilize, and you can deploy your account on. Okay, another thing, why we call it as a cloud data warehouse? Because here no on-premise cases are involved. You don't need to install anything. You don't need to basically configure anything, nothing. Just you have to open an account and you have to start working on Snowflake. It's a kind of like, let's say you have opened a Gmail account, Yahoo account, and from all over the world you can access that account, and you can work on that account. Similarly, Snowflake is also a browser-based application. Okay, it's a data warehouse, it's a browser-based application. Okay, and that's the reason we call it as a cloud data warehouse. Okay, so it is entirely deployed on the cloud. Either you open your account with AWS, then your account is deployed. Account will be deployed on the AWS. If you have opened your account with Azure, then your account will be deployed on Azure, and similarly for GCP. Okay. Now, not only cloud data warehouse, Snowflake is cloud data warehouse definitely, but it is not only cloud data warehouse, it's a SaaS product. SaaS product means software as a service, software as a service product. Okay, this is a software as a service product. Okay, so what does mean by software as a service product? So simple thing. I'll tell you one example so that you can understand. So let's say, for an example, let's say point A to point B daily. In the every day you journey from point A to point B. Let's say from your home to office, every day you go to your office from your home. Okay, now two way you can travel. Okay, right, by your own vehicle. Let's say you have your own vehicle. That is one option. Second option, you take the other people's or other persons services. Okay, so let's say first one, if you are going by your own vehicle. Now if you want to go by your own vehicle, first of all you have to purchase your own car. Okay, now if you want to purchase your own car, then what is the advantage here? Advantage is you own the assets. Okay, that means you purchase the car. That means this car is yours. You are the owner of the car. That is one thing. Second thing, what is the disadvantage or drawbacks? First of all, huge upfront cost involved. Okay, so that means here, whenever you go for the purchasing a car, huge upfront cost is involved. That means you have to pay huge money to the car owner, so a shop to the shopkeeper, so that you can purchase the car. So first of all, huge upfront cost is involved. Second thing is huge maintenance activities are involved. Maintenance activities are involved. Okay, so what does it mean? That means by only purchasing the car is not end of the story. After that, you have to regularly servicing and all those things are there, right? Your insurance and all those things are there. So huge maintenance activities are involved. You need a car parking. If you don't know how to, don't if you don't have the driving license, you have to hire a driver. So basically, it's a huge maintenance activities are involved, right? So this is exactly your on-premise data warehouses cases, where basically we have to purchase all the software, we have to purchase servers, server room, we need the infrastructure, we need the space where we will be doing the configuration, setup, everything. So the advantage is there, everything is your asset, but at the same time, you have to understand there is a huge upfront cost involved. First, you have to purchase entire server, you have to do entire setup, and then you have to start using your virtual warehouse. That is the reason huge upfront cost is involved. That means before utilizing the warehouse, you have to pay the huge upfront cost. And along with that huge maintenance, this is very important, huge maintenance activities are there. That means your server maintenance, your basically backup, recovery, each and everything, you need a specific team. And that's the reason we used to have a DBA team, networking team. They will be creating the networking, DBA team will be handling the servers, and all those things are there, right? This is the entirely on-premise data warehouses. Okay. Now, for an example, let's say I will not go to my office by my own car. I will be taking the cab services and I'll go. Okay, so if that is the case, then what I'll do, I'll book my cab in from my phone. Okay, the cab will come to my house. I'll get into it. I'll go to my office. I'll pay whatever amount is there, and that's it. I'll go to my office. That's it, right? So here, no upfront cost, no upfront cost involved. That means before utilizing the cab, you are not paying anything. Once the ride is completed, how much kilometer you traveled, according to that, the bill is getting generated. You don't need to pay the entire cab price. You don't need to pay the entire car price, right? How much kilometer you traveled, according to that, you have to pay. So that means here, pay what you use model. So that means what, how much you are using, according to that you will be paying. Okay, so you don't need to pay the entire car prices. And no maintenance activities is there, right? No maintenance activities are there. You are not bothered about the maintaining the cars and all, right? You just open the app, you just book a cab, the cab will come to your house, you will get into it, you will go to your destination, you will pay the money, that's it, nothing else. Who is the driver? Car maintenance, servicing, insurance, everything, nothing is in your responsibilities. Your responsibility is nothing. You just use the car, and whatever kilometer you travel, according to you, pay that amount. Exactly, Snowflake does the same thing. Okay, Snowflake does not have any capacity. Snowflake, see, whenever we talk about the data warehouse, what we will be doing in the data warehouse, first of all, we will insert the data. That means, or we can say, load the data. We will bring the data, or you can say bring. We will bring the data, right? So first thing what we will do with the data warehouse, we will bring the data into the data warehouse, because data warehouse is the something where we will be bringing the data from the different source system. It's a single repository of the data. So that means we will bring the data. Okay, so that means we will bring data. So for that reason, what I need, we need the storage capacity. We need the storage, so where we will be storing the data. Similarly, second thing what I need, we need the computing in the sense, or processors, right? In your smartphone, laptop, mobile, desktop, wherever you go, this two component is there, right? You have the processors, you have the storage. You have the processors, you have the storage, right? If you talk about your smartphone, there is a hard disk is there you actually stores your data. Now you have the processors also, which helps you to store the data, right? So that means, for an example, like let's say in my mobile I have hard disks, I have storage, but I don't have processors. Even my mobile also will not be opened, right? Why? Because processors are the component which will be used to fetch the data, which will be used to store the data, which will be used to modify the data. One simple example I have, let's say we nowadays we everyone purchase online items, right? Let's say you have purchased some online item, okay? Now that item is there in your in the shop, okay? So we have the Swiggy, Zomato, everything, right? So you, let's say you ordered some food, that food is there in the hotel, okay? Now they are prepared the food and they packed the food and they kept it, okay? And now you are sitting in your house, okay? Let's say for an example your house is the storage, okay? Now that item is there in the shop, okay? Now that item will not come automatically to your house, right? There will be somebody who will bring that item from the shop. That means that person will be picking up that item from the shop and he will be bringing that item to your house, right? That is what they will do. Now that person is nothing but your computing power or processing power, okay? Without that person your item will be there itself and you will be here itself. The item is coming from the shop to your house by using that person, and that person is nothing but he is the processors or computing here, equivalent to the processors or compute. That delivery boy is nothing but the computing or the processors, okay? So that is what I'm saying. If your house is storage, then item should be coming to your storage by using computing. So these two component everywhere is fixed, and Snowflake does not own this component. As I told you that I take the cab services, that means I don't have my own cab car. I'm taking the cab services from the other people, and I'm going to my destination. Similarly, Snowflake also will be take these two component as the services from this cloud. What does mean? That means whenever I'm opening the Snowflake account, if I have deployed my account on AWS cloud, then the storage services and the computing services Snowflake will be taking from the AWS as a services. Okay. Similarly, if you have opened your account with Azure, Snowflake will be taking the storage services and computing services from the Azure. And similarly for the GCP. What does it mean? That means whenever we insert the data, whenever we insert any data into Snowflake database, basically that data Snowflake doesn't have any capacity to store. Okay, so Snowflake is kind of like your Ola Uber. You have a Uber app, you have a Ola app, right? What it happens there in Uber app or in Ola app or any type of service providers app, cab service providers app, what they have, like in your city, whatever cabs are running, they all are not belongs to Ola. They all are not belongs to Uber, right? So Ola Uber, what they did is like they created one platform where we as a customer log in and car owners as a service providers log in. Now on the platform, we take their services, we pay the money to Ola. Ola take the cuts and remaining they pay to the car owners. That is what their business is going on, right? Similarly, Snowflake is exactly same thing. Whenever we open the account with the Snowflake, we deploy our account with the Azure, AWS, or GCP. Whenever we deploy our account with AWS, Azure, GCP, we are taking the storage services and the computing services from them itself. That means if I have deployed my account on AWS, these two services I'm taking from there itself. So that means whenever I will store any data into Snowflake, the data does not going to store into Snowflake storage. Snowflake, it will be very interesting to know that Snowflake does not have any storage capacity. So whatever data we are inserting, that data internally is storing on the cloud itself. Whatever cloud you have taken as a wherever you have deployed your account, that means let's say for an example you deployed your account on AWS, then whatever data you inserted, the data will be internally goes to AWS to store the data. right? So that means from the AWS, they are taking the storage services and they are storing the data over there. If you have deployed your account on Azure, then they are taking the storage services from the Azure and they are deploying and they are basically storing the data into the Azure. If you have deployed your account on GCP, then that means you are taking the storage services from the GCP and you are storing the data into the GCP cloud. Okay, that is the reason we call Snowflake as a software as a services. That means Snowflake takes this storage and computing or processing powers as a services from the other cloud. How much data they have stored? Let's say, for an example, 1 GB data is stored into the cloud. So I will pay for only 1 GB data. If I store 1 TB data, I will pay for 1 TB data. If I store for 100 TB data, I will pay for 100 TB data. Whatever data I will store, according to that I will pay. I will not pay any extra price here. Similar, that's the reason we call it as a pay per use model. Okay. So understood why we call Snowflake as a cloud data warehouse and why we call Snowflake as a SaaS product. We call Snowflake as a cloud data warehouse because whenever we open the Snowflake account, we deploy the account on the cloud. So this is a browser-based application. We open the account and we start working on it. So it's entirely cloud dependent, no on-premise cases are there. And why we call it as a SaaS product? Because Snowflake does not have any storage capacity. Even Snowflake does not have any computing capacity or processing unit. Whenever we deploy our account on the AWS, Snowflake takes these services, that means storage services, processing services from the AWS. Whenever we deploy our account on Azure, Snowflake takes these services from the Azure. And whenever we deploy our account on the GCP, Snowflake takes these services from the GCP. So that is how it works. And that's the reason we call it as a SaaS product, okay? Software as a services product, okay? So this is what we basically we call it as a storage we call it as a SaaS or software as a service product, okay? Fine. So this is what the Snowflake internal structure. Okay. Now, if I talk about the Snowflake architecture, and we understood about the OLTP and OLAP, right? So this is also important. People ask these questions that what is OLTP, what is OLAP. So you have to summarize this one. I'll share this PPT with all of you guys. So don't worry. And this is your Snowflake trial account. Okay. So, sorry, this is your Snowflake architecture. Snowflake follows a 3-layer of architecture. One is cloud service layer, another one is query processing layer, another one is database storage layer. Cloud service layer is the brain of the architecture. Like as a human being, we have the brain, and whatever instruction comes, we get that instruction from the brain itself. Similarly, Snowflake cloud service layer is also works like the same way. Okay, so the cloud service layer is nothing but like it's a kind of, for an example, let's say every instruction like metadata containers, access, authentication, optimization, each and everything will be controlled by the cloud service layer. So cloud service layer is the brain of the architecture. Entire Snowflake infrastructure architecture will be controlled or will be handled by the cloud service layer. Okay, so each and everything will be handled by the cloud service layer. That is one thing. Second layer is the query processing layer. Query processing layer is nothing but this layer is responsible to process your queries. Not only queries, any type of data related activities. For an example, insert statement, update statement, delete statement, select statement. So these are all the statements that will be executed by the query processing layer. This is your processors unit, or this is your processing unit. This is your computing unit. Your query processing layer will be having one or multiple virtual warehouses. Your query processing layer will be having one or multiple virtual warehouses. As of now, understand virtual warehouses are the collection of servers or processing servers, or you can understand this is the processing nodes or machines, okay, by which your data will be processed. What is virtual warehouse, how it used, what are all the different things? I'll be taking an entire class for dedicated to this topic, okay? So don't worry, as of now just understand virtual warehouses are nothing but the collection of servers. One virtual warehouse can have one server, this is having 4 server, this is having 2 server, for an example, this is again having 4 servers. So like that. So virtual warehouses are collection of servers, and those servers are utilized to run your queries. Okay, the virtual warehouses are collection of processing servers, you can understand like that, and those servers will be used to run your query. So whenever we execute any query, that query will be executed by these virtual warehouses. Okay. So anyway, so this is the query processing layer, and last layer is the database storage layer, where actually your data has been stored. That physical data will be stored. So whenever we run the query directly sent to the cloud service layer. From there, control comes to the query processing layer. By using virtual warehouse, they fetch the data from the database storage layer and return to the user. So this is the short form of query processing I just told you. I'll be discussing in detail version later. So while I'll talk about the micro partition session, there I'll discuss how the query processes on the Snowflake. Okay, so we'll be discussing that later. So anyway, so as of now, just understand this is the 3 layer of architecture. Okay. Now next is basically I'll be opening a free trial account with Snowflake. So for an example, you have to go to Google, you have to write here Snowflake trial. Okay, Snowflake trial you have to write. So you will be getting this link. Okay, Snowflake sign up for the free trial today. You have to click on this link. So let it open. Now you can see it will be giving you 1 month free trial account and 30 days free trial account, which is $400 worth account they will be providing. So for an example, let's say I'm providing my name here and work email address you have to provide. Work email address in the sense not like your company's address. You can give your company's email address also. Otherwise, you can give your normal Gmail address, Yahoo address as well. So any type of email address should be fine. Why are you signing up? So let's say I'm student exploring Snowflake like that, or personal learning, anything you can choose. For training, certifications for my jobs, whatever you want, you can choose from here. After that, you'll be going to continue. Now you can see here you have to provide your company details. Okay, so if you don't have your company, you can put your name as well. Let's say I'm putting my name here. Job titles, if you have anything, job titles you can write here. Let's say I'm giving here that I am architect, or kind of like that I'm giving. Okay. Similarly, you have to choose the edition. So there are 3 edition provided: standard edition, enterprise edition, and business critical edition. This is very important questions, that what are all the editions are available in Snowflake: standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical edition. Another one is there that is called private edition, or VPS, virtual private edition. So basically that editions are also there. So anyway, so these are all the 3 edition mostly we get in the scenario. So standard, enterprise, and business critical edition. Another one is there, VPS. Okay. Now standard edition we will not choose, because a lot of functionalities will not be there in the standard edition. Either we will be choosing the enterprise edition, which is most popular, or we will be choosing the business critical edition. If you choose the standard edition, then 90 days time travel period, multi-cluster warehouse, materialized views, these options will not be available here. So that's the reason either you choose enterprise edition or you choose business critical edition. So better if you choose the latest one, that means upgraded one, so that each and every thing we will be practice, because we will be doing a lot of advanced from basic to advanced, everything we will be learning here. So we will be able to basically practice all the things if you have created a business critical edition. Okay. After that, for an example, which cloud you want to choose? As I told you, there are 3 cloud. Any one you have to choose. Either you choose the Azure, or you choose the AWS, or you choose the GCP. Any one you can choose. Okay. So let's say for an example, I am choosing the AWS account. Okay. So you can choose Azure, you can choose GCP. Nothing, no differences. Only the storage and computing. If you have opened your cloud account, a Snowflake account with AWS, your storage will be taken from AWS. If you have opened your account with Azure, your storage computing will be taken from Azure, and similar for GCP. No other changes. Okay. So so I will prefer always choose the AWS account, because if you open the Azure account or GCP account, in case of implementing Snowpipe, there is some obstacle will come. So I'll tell you that later. As of now, you won't understand. So better to choose AWS account. Why? Because AWS is flexible and it works with everything. So that's the reason you can choose the AWS account. Okay. So I'll tell you what is the obstacle will come whenever we'll do the Snowpipe. So after that you can choose the region. So automatically it is choosing the Asia specific Singapore region. So I'm keeping it same. After that, you can click on here, and let's go here. They will be asking you a couple of questions, 2 questions, that you can skip it. You don't need to answer, or if you want to answer, you can answer. Otherwise, you can skip it. Once it is done, you get the activation email will be sending to your email address. So this is your email address. So let me check. So you will be getting like this way. So it takes little time. So I don't know whether it will be taking time or not. So you can see you will be getting the email like this way. Okay. Activate your account karke. This is the email address you will be getting. Activate your Snowflake account. This email you will be getting, and in that email you have to just open that email and you have to click to activate button. And once you click to activate button, then it will be asking you to provide the user ID and password. So that means that will be asking you to set your user ID and password. So you have to give your whatever your wish. You have to give one user ID and you have to give one password, and you have to set your account. Once you set up your account, after that, going forward, just you have to click on this link, the link they have provided, and by using this URL you will be opening your account. So that is how it works. Okay, so it is, you can see it is taking time. Okay, so it is taking time. So anyway, so this is the way we open the free trial account. So you will be receiving this type of activate your Snowflake account email. So it takes little time to, sometimes it takes some time, immediately it will come, sometime it takes little time. So so basically once you get that email, so I'm repeating again, you will be getting this type of email, activate your Snowflake account. Once you get that email, so after that you will be getting basically this type of click to activate button. If you click to activate, it is expired. This is a long back I got, so this activation error, so it is already activated, so it will throw error. So this click to activate button, there will be one user ID field, and you will be having a password field and confirm password field. In the user ID field, you have to give your user ID. For an example, your name, your email address, or let's say I provide Snowflake ADM. Snowflake ADM, that means Snowflake admin, like that. Or you can provide admin, XYZ, ABCD, whatever user ID you want to give, you can give. And according to that, you can set up your password. Like, okay, XYZ, some password you set up. Now, after that, you done. Okay, going forward, now once you click on the submit button, you will be entering into the Snowflake page. And going forward, like next day onwards or sometime after some time, so basically you will be having this URL. This URL will be utilized. Like if you click on this URL, no, you will be getting the this type of option. Like what? So whatever username you have set up in the click to activate button, and whatever password you have set up, you just have to put and you have to sign in. So it's a simple like your Gmail account and all. Okay, so I'm not going into that. So once you open the account, after that you will be reaching like this way. You will be reaching to page like this way. Okay, so from here a lot of things are there. We will be discussing later whenever we'll start the class. How to open the database, how to create the database, each and everything we will be discussing. Okay. So as I told you, so there are 3 questions definitely people will be asking. First of all, what are all the clouds that are supported? Okay. So AWS, Azure, GCP. This question, 90 to 100% chances are there. People will be asking, and in the certification exam, which 3 clouds are supported in Snowflake? So AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay, so that is first thing. Second questions they will be asking, what are all the 3 layers of architecture? Cloud service layer, query processing layer, and database storage layer. This is the 3 architecture layer available. Okay. And third questions people ask that whether the Snowflake follows the SaaS or PaaS or IaaS. So we have to select the SaaS product. Okay. So SaaS is software as a service. PaaS is platform as a service. IaaS is infrastructure as a service. So in Google you can go and you can check IaaS. This is IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. So this is the 3. So IaaS is infrastructure as a service, PaaS is platform as a service, SaaS is software as a service. This is the 3 distinct cloud computing service model that offers different level of infrastructure management control. IaaS provide virtualized compute resources offers the platform to develop and SaaS offers the ready-to-use software applications. So this is what they ask generally. So either it is SaaS product or PaaS product or IaaS product. So your answer will be SaaS product. So this is the three important questions people ask from the from this topic, whatever we discussed today. Clear? Any doubt? Any question? Yeah, tell me, Samar.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I have a question regarding in a Snowflake arena, what, how long will it take to complete all the topics? And second thing, if a person knows only Snowflake, then will he get the right opportunity in the market, or anything else we have to do apart from Snowflake?
Okay, see, for in my session, it will be taking approximately 30 classes on Snowflake. Okay, and it will be approximately 1.5 years on a 1.5 month on Snowflake. Okay, and I will be trying to cover whatever generally we work in basically in organization. That will be basic, advanced, each and everything. Okay, that is one thing. Only Snowflake right now, if you are working as a Snowflake data engineer, you are working as a Snowflake developers and all, so only Snowflake with SQL knowledge is fine. But most of the companies ask for DBT also, so that's the reason my courses will be included the DBT also. DBT is nothing but it's a data build tool. DBT basically useful for the transformation of the data. Once we receive the data into the data warehouse, after that we have to prepare the data according to the client's requirement. As I given the example in the starting of the class, that I dump all the data, all the raw data into my Snowflake database. After that, client, how the client wants to see the data. Let's say they wants to see the data region wise sales revenue report, they wants to see the data month wise sales revenue report. So how they wants to see their data, according to their format we have to prepare the data, and that preparation does by the DBT. Because why? Without DBT also we can do by using Snowflake procedures and all, or by using SQL script and all. But why we use the DBT? Because DBT can be integrated with multiple data warehouses. DBT has the capability to schedule the jobs. We can make it automated and all those things. So that's the reason DBT is very useful here. Now, so if you learn Snowflake and DBT is the as a combinations, then it is good to get a job. So you don't need to worry about that.
Okay. Okay, so got it. So you mean to say when we talk about the Snowflake, it is always deployed in the cloud itself.
Always, yes.
So, so sir, like in 1.5 months span, you will cover DBT, Snowflake, and like these two things you will cover, right?
Right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. And if you open your trial account, that will last for 1 month. After that, same email address, using same email address, you can open another trial account. So you don't need to worry about that. So you can use unlimited trial account. You can open. Snowflake allows that.
Okay,
At least till now they are allowing. Maybe in future they will be putting something, but as of now they are allowing.
okay. Sir, one thing also, like this, you put an example that Snowflake works like a cab, okay, like Ola, Uber. So once the operation is happened, then what happens with the data?
Data will be there in the cloud itself. Okay. So see, whenever I open the account with Snowflake, let's say I open the account with AWS. So whatever data I stored in the Snowflake, the data internally goes to the AWS cloud and stores there. But the thing is that let's say in Snowflake your account is you are not continuing with Snowflake. Let's say you are not continuing with Snowflake. In that case you are migrating. Let's say tomorrow we got another because it is the IT, and every time basically we get some upgradation. Let's say Snowflake upgraded to something, then you want to take this data and migrate to the another system, you can do that. So you can take the data before stopping using this server. You can take the data, you can export all the data, and you can migrate. That is the migration. Normally, how it works actually.
Okay. And so the query we write on MS SQL is same as we
Same,
do in
same,
Snowflake.
same.
Okay,
How
because
your
I know SQL. Yeah.
yes, how your SQL is working. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
no problem. So, Srihari, so basically, it's not for fresher or something like that. It is for everyone. So, if you have a SQL basic understanding, SQL select statement, DDL, DML, how to create the account, how to grant the possibility. So, if you have those understanding, you can start the Snowflake journey. It will be helping you to get the job. Yes, that is the only thing I need for this session. After that, I will be doing by basically whatever is needed, I will be doing. I'll be showing you data loading from AWS, Azure, all those things. So those I will be covering. So you don't need to worry about those things. But DBT also I'll be covering. But the base thing that I need is from your side is only SQL. So if you know SQL, then it's fine. You can start learning it, because right now basically whatever people we interview, like I take the interviews for my organization. Even I was in Europe for last year, there also I have seen like whoever is coming, that is not like freshers or something. Now freshers people knows more than I think I passed out long back, like in 2009. So whatever was there in our syllabus, now your syllabus is completely different. Now people are from the fresher level, people are learning AI, people are learning Python. So it is not something like your fresher or experience. If you can basically learn these things, and if you can track your interviews properly, then definitely nobody will stop you to get the job. So it's not like fresher or experience. Yeah. And if you start, basically, if you start the journey now onwards with the cloud and with the Snowflake, and then later point of time, it will be easy to pursue. So otherwise, if you became an experienced and then you start, then your interviews also will be a little bit like, because you are as a fresher, so they will be asking the questions like a normal way. And if you are showing a 5 years, 6 years experience, they will be asking the questions on a higher way. So it's very good opportunities, like if you complete this learning like from now itself, because data warehouse market is going towards Snowflake in coming days. Like a lot of companies, every companies are started using it, and in future also they will be using it. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I do have experience in other domain. Right now, I'm not doing job because I'm upskilling.
Mhm.
And right now, I'm getting to 40s. I'm around 40 years old. So, will you suggest me to do Snowflake? Because earlier I had a process that got ramped down. So, should I go ahead with this Snowflake training and putting kind of 1 year or 2 years experience in my resume after learning these modules?
Yes, I will be preferring you, but because you are experienced, like I'm also age is same with you. But the thing is that I will prefer you just complete the learning and then you do one certification, because whenever we grow with experience, people see that whether we have a proper certification or not, which basically they don't ask from the fresher people, or they don't ask from the 3 years 4 years experience guys people. Okay, they will be asking the they basically they expects this certification from a experienced guy. So I'll be preferring like once you complete the course, definitely you can go, because in my whenever I was in Europe in last December, so there was a one student, that guy also from US, I believe, and he experience was also like that, and age was also like that. So he also completed this learning, okay, and I think he got basically a project, because his intention was to get a project in the same organization, and after that basically they are now he is working in that same organization but with the Snowflake project. So anyways, so because he was included into a Snowflake project, that's the reason he learned. So anyways, so you can learn it, and you can, whatever is your motivation or aim, that you can fulfill, like either joining a new project in your organization, or because as you told you that you don't have any, like you are not working, so you can go with the other organizations job searching as well. So it's not an issue. It's a but I will prefer like once you complete the learning, you do the certification. So that will be value added with your age or
Definitely, sir.
your experience. Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks.
yeah, no problem. And for certifications and all, whatever dumps and all needed, I'll share. No worries. Okay.
Sir, this is Madhusudan.
Hi, Madhusudhan. Tell me.
Hello.
Tell me, Madhusudhan. I'm able to hear you. Tell me.
See, I am because of a DBA.
Uh-huh.
So, on what basis Snowflake help me out on this?
Snowflake admin. So we have the Snowflake architect, we have
Okay.
Snowflake admin, we have Snowflake data, Snowflake admin. So I'll be covering admin topics here. So you can get those knowledge and you can get a job in admin. So whoever is wants to
Okay.
get a job in data engineer, they can get the job in data engineer. Whoever is wants to work with the admin, they can go for the admin. So both the topics we will be covering here.
So what is the role? What is the role? For example, in the Snowflake, if you get a job, what is the role? Admin or developer?
Snowflake admin, Snowflake data engineer, Snowflake data architect. For data architect,
Okay.
you need to complete the architect level certifications, and basically experienced guys without experience, they don't provide the data architect role. So but data admin and data engineer, these are the two role that you can opt for. Data admin is nothing but like whoever will be doing all the admin related stuffs, and data engineer who will be doing the data related stuffs. So both topics we will be covering, because you people will be getting a compact understanding from here. So generally after that you can search your job from the for the data admin as well, or you can search the job in the data engineer as well. Both is possible.
Okay. So any programming language required, or only some stories are required?
Only
Any programming language?
programming language is not required. Whenever I will teach procedure functions, those two topics mainly needed for the data engineer. If you don't want to learn, you can skip that. Or otherwise, if you want to learn, so you can learn. You don't need to write any programming language. If you know how
Okay.
to write the insert, update, delete, select statement, then that's fine. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's a no. Okay. That's a no. Means like lengthy writing the programs means
No, 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 no.
for
You don't need to write. For Snowflake admin, for
okay.
Snowflake data engineer, you don't need to write. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. And we will be learning DBT as well. In DBT, everything is automated by script only. So here
DBT,
is a scripting language generally. So we don't need to worry.
DBT or the DB2?
DBT, data build tool, DBT, not DB2, it's DBT. Okay.
DBT.
Yes, DBT.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. So that's all. DBT is this one. DBT. Not this one. 1 second.
I'm unable to connect in my laptop. This link.
That's
Getting
fine.
any voice.
your audio problem would be there. So this is what the DBT transform, how you do the data. So this is the DBT transformation tool. So I'll tell you this one later. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So that's all for today's session. I will start the classes mostly by Thursday. Okay, so I need 2 days. I will start the class mostly by Thursday or maybe by Friday. Okay, so whoever wants to enroll, they can enroll. Otherwise, basically, I will be starting either by 22 or 23. So, okay, so I'll be updating by the from by WhatsApp itself. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
If we update,
Okay,
okay.
sir.
And one more thing, each and every classes will be providing the recording, and you can see the recordings. Basically, I will be providing the recording. Whenever I will be providing the recording, you guys need to download the recording. Okay. So until and unless your batch is completed, I will not delete the recording. But before that, you download it. Okay. So once the batch is completed, after that, if you are asking, give me the recording, sir, on that day, so it will not be possible for me. So whenever every day I will share the recording, every day it is possible. If possible, you can download the recording. Okay, fine. So that's all. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.
you.
Bye
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
bye. Bye bye.